Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jenny Redacted. You probably know who I am. Humble brag. I'm here today in the Codex. As most of you may know, unfortunately, the Codex did not go to early access on time. There was an issue with Steam, so I'm still running the playtest version, but this should be the version that goes live in the early access. I don't think there'll be much of a change. But today I wanted to walk you guys through creating stuff in the Codex. This is for all of our homebrewers and designers out there who are looking to put their content on the Codex when it launches and releases. Um, I have noodled around with it quite a bit in the past and recently, so I'm a bit more familiar with it than someone who's just jumping in, and I understand that just jumping in is a little bit scary and a little imposing, so I hope to make this video to help you guys sort of figure out how to walk through it. So um, our goal today is we're going to go ahead and be making the Marrow monster band from my playtest packet from under the Black Flag. The Marrow are sort of like shark demon, sort of like Sahuagins right from 5e. So we're going to be making them in the Codex here. So I've got this nice, coastal map, the perfect place here for a shark attack, as it were. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. We are going to be making the Marrow Fishhook, which is the Harrier platoon. This is going to be a pretty basic build here. I'm not going to go for anything remotely fancy. I'm just going to try to make the monster as it appears in the document. Okay, but now we have the view for the thing we want. So we see Marrow Fishhook. It is a level 2 platoon Harrier, EV8, size normal, stats and stuff. It's got lightning weakness 3, can climb and swim. These are its stats. This is its signature ability. It's free triggered action, which is unique to the monster band. Every creature in the monster band has this trait, as well as the bloodthirsty trait. So we're gonna actually start with the trigger and the trait, because once we make those, we can copy them to onto the other stat block. So it'll be very easy. We'll just have to make the non-unique stuff. So we're gonna start here. We're just gonna right click anywhere on our map. We're gonna see some options here. We're gonna hit create token, hit monster, and we got our monster token. So already it has the properties of a regular token. You can drag and move it around to have it walk. We see all the action economy stuff at the bottom here. I am actually going to make this just a bit smaller. So a little further out of the way. There we go. Okay. Looking here, we're going to just go ahead and click on the token. We're going to hit C. It's going to pop open the character sheet. At present, and this is, a note for later, it's UI, it's getting changing. This is exactly the same character sheet looking thing, regardless if it is a player or monster. So no difference between those two here. Let's go ahead and put the character's name. It's going to be a Marrow Fishhook. Now I don't have a piece of art for this guy, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Google Sahuagin, don't sue me, and I'm just going to grab a piece of art to use so that I don't have to stare at this really funky base monster stat block. I also don't like that it glows. It's slowly blinking at me. It's just a face of horror. So we can go ahead and click on appearance to switch over to the appearance tab. We can click here to upload an image. There's obviously a bunch just saved in the game from all the official game sources. We can hit upload image, and then that'll pull up a window. I'm grabbing this image of this hooligan guy. So that'll obviously, just size it to fit the whole thing. That's not what we want. We want it to be a token. So if we go over here on this side, we can hit scale and zoom. This changes, the scale changes the size of the token. So if you wanted to be a little bit bigger than normal, or even a little smaller, you could do that. But scale's fine. We want to get in this guy's face. So if we actually click on the ring here, we can move it around, sort of like a compass or like a magnifying glass on a table. And we can center in on where we want it. And the zoom will make the ring smaller, so we can focus on what we want. So I'm gonna get real tight up here, and then just highlight right over this guy's face, so it takes up the whole screen. Now we have a token that's actually what we want. Like players, you can also give these things anthem sounds. Yeah, you can put that there if you wanted. I actually think it'd be very funny if you if I don't think I'm going to do the shark, I think I'm just going to do a couple of these for examples, but if I did the great white shark, if it just played the Jaws theme at the start of its turn, I think that would be very funny. But anyway, so cool, now we have the token, and we're going to start filling in all the little bits here. So first of all, it's going to fill it in its stats. I actually think let's minimize this a little smaller so that we can go ahead and see our thing here. So we're going to start off, it's got a might of 2, so just type that in, agility of 1, reason of -2, intuition of 0, leave that, and a presence of a -1. It's got 1 stability, so we can change that base to 1. No bonus distance gauge, obviously a speed of 7, so we can change the base speed, and then we can just tick the boxes for swim and tick the box for climb. Size is 1M, that's about right. Immunities and weaknesses, we can click this little gear here, add entry. We're going to give it a weakness 3 to, and then we can change it untyped to lightning. Boom, and we can close that. It's right there. We can also have its types. This is the band. This will actually give it access if you were to create, let's say if you were making humans, right? If you have its band be human, it will gain the human malice options. So if you don't want it to have those, don't use that and just give it the keywords. So the keywords we have are abyssal and marrow, I think. Now, I actually don't fucking know. Can I do... No, because I can't do a custom ones, can I? No, I can't. Okay, cool. So, band can't be custom. Those are just the pre-made ones, so... Maybe they'll add that as a feature later. Can I even do custom keywords? No, I fucking can't. Cool, alright, sick. Cool, so it's a business. This is a platoon. And it is a Harrier. Director controlled, it's creature. Cool. For the free strike, it has a free strike of 4, but yeah, maybe they'll add a feature later of like making a band so that you don't have to copy and paste all the malice features over. And it is level 2. Change that there. EV should be 8. It has 40 stamina. Change that there. Obviously, it doesn't have any recoveries. No base malice. Okay, we are looking at everything that's up in this top section here. It's all done. Now on to the stuff we wanted to do, the Blood in the Water and Bloodthirsty. So we can see here, we're going to start with this trait, Bloodthirsty. The fishhook has an edge on power rolls made against bleeding or winded creatures. So we're going to pop over to give a creature traits. Obviously, these are all the actions. You can see main action, maneuver, triggers. To give a creature traits, we're going to pop over to the Features tab on the right side here. We're going to hit Add Custom Feature. Hit Edit. You can give it a name, so we're going to call it Bloodthirsty. And we're going to go ahead and type in its description. Obviously, if I had the PDF pulled up, I'd just copy and paste it, but this isn't that long. I can just type it out here, but I would not recommend typing it out, obviously. Longer things, you can just copy and paste up in here. For the modifier, this is what I'm kind of talking about. If you've heard me talk about like the Codex in terms of list of a bunch of shit, this is a giant fucking drop down with a whole mess of things. Basically everything you can think of that the game in like Draw Steel rules can do, there is a button and section for it. Like it's suspended in air, you know, light source, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. For this, we're going to be modifying a power roll, right? We're giving edges to power rolls based on a situational event. So we're going to go and look for the modify power roll modifier here. It's going to pop up in this big window here, and we're going to see a bunch of stuff. First of all, we're going to see apply to. This is going to be all our power rolls, right? So if there's some opposed test or some sort of thing, it's not just going to be abilities, isn't like attacks. So, I mean, I think there's a very rare situation in which that would happen, but there's not too much difference. So this is all power rolls. There's no usage limit. If you make multiple power rolls, there's no thing there. It's not going to cost anything, but the roll is going to have a requirement. Yeah, it's going to have a condition here, which we're going to fill. So first of all, the activation is going to be always. So if the condition we write out is met, they will always have that edge. The roll mod, this is what's actually being done to the roll, is an edge. So, boom. And there's no other thing there. So let's go ahead and fill in this condition. So this is going to be using Goblin script, which is sort of a bit of like the coding aspect when it comes to making stuff in Codex. We can see it has this little goblin icon. I'm going to make this full screen. We can see it has this little goblin icon. That lets you know that this is a Goblin script formula, which means we can enter like keywords and stuff that the game recognizes to create our thing. So right now we are going to want to get the condition for bleeding and for a creature being at half stamina. So if we click on the little goblin icon here, we can open a formula documentation, and that is going to pull up this big list of all of the example stuff here. So we go ahead and hit self. We're going to see all this sort of stuff in like words and values and stuff we can use. I believe, let's see here. Double checking. Yeah, I want to say, I mean, okay, now there's another fun thing we can do here, because I want you all to know I've not planned this out. I'm fully going to just try to make my monsters in the Codex to show you how I would go about it and do it, and like troubleshoot and problem solve. So obviously I can see here is that we have conditions, right? So it says the names of any conditions affecting the creature. So it says conditions has poisoned, right? And how you would write it. So if I write conditions, right, it'll come up conditions as, and if we do in parentheses here, do bleeding. I'm gonna take a guess that that is going to be how it is working, right? So let's, and this is like a big part of like seeing if shit works. But just hit confirm. We made the feature. We gave it a thing. Let's find out if it actually worked. So let me go ahead and spawn in, let's go to bestiary, and let's just spawn in a goblin or something. Or let me grab a hero token. Let me grab the dealing to Rage, and let's grab this Wolf Fury. Let's maybe not. I've been messing around with that one. It's the human talent, good old human talent. We're gonna right click it, or just click on it, pull up the big menu here for all the stuff to modify it. We can go ahead and hit plus, give it a condition. We're going to give it the bleeding condition. All right, so they're bleeding. We can hover over that, see that the description of what bleeding does. Now that they have bleeding, let's go ahead and try to make the fish hook make a power roll against it. Now, I actually think it doesn't have any fucking power rolls because I didn't give it any abilities. Oh, it's got grab. Let's just try to, yeah, it's not, this should work because it is a power roll against the target. Let's see if it gives it an edge. Okay, it did not. It's not even showing up. So that let us know that didn't work. So in this event, I can keep trying the other conditions and seeing if that sort of thing is possible, and I can kind of brute force it. But there's another thing that is very possible and is going to be your best friend, especially if you're like me and you rip a lot of your homebrews by just like Frankensteining existing monsters. So what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and look. I'm popping, and I guess I can pop it over. Actually, yeah, this is better if I just do this. I'm gonna go search. I am going to, or rather, I'm gonna open the journal. I'm just literally gonna crack open fucking monsters, and I'm just gonna go for bleeding. So let's go ahead and just pan through here. Oh, it's so zoomed in, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's try to find a monster that gives a shit about bleeding, right? Bleeding creatures. Yeah, that didn't come up at all. Yeah, bleeding creature, boom, there we go. So let's take a bloodthirst. Let's see. Okay, we're trying to look for something that like literally just an effect that gives an edge against targets with a specific condition. Right? That's gotta exist around here somewhere. I stole that from the monster, from the animal section. From just the let's see here, where is it? I think it's frenzy trait. I'm not seeing it. There you go. Yeah, frenzy trait. Yeah, animal gains an edge against creatures who are bleeding or winded. What if I were to just type that instead? Bleeding or winded. Booyah. Okay. This is a level 10 fucking war dog, so maybe that doesn't have it. let's see. Or might be only that one. I mean, it's worth a shot. Iron Champion Doru. Let's see if we can't find that stat block in the bestiary here. Iron Champion Doru. All right, let's put that down. Let's click on them. Let's see if they've been. Yeah, they got Hound Axe, Bloody Whirlwind, Hunting Leap. Doru jumps, and I don't know if I can swear adjacent to the target, then makes a free strike against them. If the target is winded or bleeding, the distance is ranged 5, and the free strike deals an additional 5 damage. Let's try that out. Let's see here. I'm gonna target this. Okay, cool. That didn't do anything, so it doesn't look like it's fully implemented right now. Okay. Because you see, in terms of getting the trait down, I know that I can make a trigger if I hit create ability, like over here. I know that like there is like a requirement for something to happen, and one of them is like having a condition, but that's not what we're going for here. What if I just target is bleeding? Does that work? Let's see here. Okay, what else can I do? Maybe okay, let's try just doing the ability rolls here. I think, yeah, because if I just put bleeding in here, I think it's going to think that they get an edge when they are bleeding and not the other way around. Nope, I fucking lied. That worked. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so in the condition, literally just typing bleeding will mean that that'll happen. And let me double check that is true by dropping down a non-bleeding target. Boom, knockback. Okay, that was wrong. It's getting an edge from Bloodthirsty. Okay, cool. So it's getting a edge from Blood. Okay, it didn't work. Whoops. It's getting an edge from Bloodthirsty because the condition didn't do anything, and now it's just giving it all the time. So, all right. I'm gonna try a different thing because I think I can get the trigger down. But what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna pull out a elite ball resource that you guys should all go to. It'll be linked in the description. Head on over to literally just the GM hub server. Right? I'm just gonna screenshot. I'm literally screenshotting the ability for Bloodthirsty right now. I'm opening my Discord and I'm gonna go send a message in the DM hub help chat. It's called Codex help. And I'm literally just gonna I'm sending a screenshot of it and ask, how could I add this trait to a monster? I know I need to give it the modify power roll modifier, but I don't know what to put for the condition. And I'm gonna send that there. I'm gonna look. I'm minimizing my Discord, and I'm gonna come back to it in 5 minutes, and we'll see if someone was able to help me. Usually they are. The devs are pretty active, and they're usually really good about helping out. So like, if you just can't figure it out, literally just ask, and most likely someone will tell you. So now I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna try to go ahead and make blood in the water now. I'm more confident in making this one than I am in the trait. I thought I had the trait, and then I didn't. We're gonna hit create ability here. That's going to open this pop up in this video here. We're going to go ahead and name it. This is Blood in the Water. Category, it's going to be a trigger. The action is going to be a free triggered action. It's got the ranged keyword. We're going to give it that. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't have any modes. The range is going to be range 10, and the target is self. Target type is still self. We're gonna leave that there. Now we're gonna go down to behavior. So this behavior is what the trigger does, right? We will get to exactly like what triggers it in a moment. But we're gonna go ahead and hit behavior. So we're gonna ignore the trigger part of it. All right, we're gonna get to that Some other way. How are we gonna get to that some other way, actually? I'll figure it out later. I think maybe I need to edit it after I hit create, but we're gonna start with the behavior. So we want this to be the trigger. That's gonna happen in a second, but the effect is that it shifts up to its speed towards the triggering creature. So I'm not sure if there's a way to actually force you to go towards the triggering creature, but we're gonna treat that as a sort of implementation like adjacent, where we're gonna assume that the director is going to use it in the intended way, but we're just going to allow the fishhook to shift up to their speed. So on behavior, we're going to go ahead and scroll down. We're going to give them invoke ability. This is going to come up a bit. Invoke ability implies to the caster, so that is the person using this ability. The prompt text is going to be shift up to speed, so that's going to show up on the screen to let the person using it know that's what's happening here. And the type is going to be a standard ability. This is an ability that already exists in the game. And for that, it's going to be shift. So we just hit shift, and this is distance. We're going to type in speed. So same thing, like with the condition, it will know what speed is. If that doesn't work, I can literally just set it to the number that the speed of this creature is, but meh. This will hopefully work and will account if its speed is increased or reduced. And then we're just gonna hit create, and now it's gonna be under triggered actions. Nope, it's not. It's under other abilities, isn't it? Blood in the water. There it is. Let's go ahead and right click, edit that. Action trigger. Let's see. I am wondering how I'm supposed to give it a trigger. This is interesting. Okay, this is not what I'm used to seeing. Usually there's a section up here on exactly like how it's supposed to trigger, but maybe that's why it's not showing up. I am going to try something else. Let's see here. Let me go grab a monster that has a triggered action. Go with the Raiden Whites. The Raiden Whites have Ready Rodent, which is pretty similar to what I'm going for here. So let's just grab some some Raiden White Red Eyes. I'm gonna open the character sheet of one. We are going to see Ready Rodent. Trigger. Interesting. Do these not do anything? I'm not seeing any. Oh, interesting here. Spring is a different thing. The target. Let's see. Does this work? It's on me. Didn't prompt anything. Only that one's working. Why doesn't this one work? Let's see here. Let me start combat. Maybe that'll help. Heroes are first. Wow, the tactician goes. Tactician turn. Red Eyes. Okay, that worked. Yeah, Ready Road. Boom. Ready Road. God, these things are nasty. Don't fight. Don't fight. Ready Eyes, you guys. Let's see here. Okay. So I have no idea how. This is the Ready Road trigger. I can't even right click it to copy it. It's just sort of like embedded into the stat block. Interesting. Okay. It's not really wrong. I really thought I was gonna be able to do this. Okay. I'm trying to think. Let's see, blood in the water. This is the trigger. That's the thing it does. It's a little frustrating. The reason I am confused here is because I know if I go over to the compendium here and look at all of the stuff, right? I'm confident I can make, like, here, let me tie it to the human or whatever. I'm gonna give the human another option here. So these are all their traits. I'm gonna give them another trait that gives them a feature. I'm gonna give them a point or whatever. And I'm going to make blood in the water as a triggered action here. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this for a monster though. That didn't seem intuitive to me. Because here, the first thing you go down to is trigger. There's two parts of a triggered ability when you're making it here, which is what I was more familiar with. Is the triggered ability, what it does, and the triggered ability display. We're going to start with that one, because that is what's going to pop up and our players are going to see. So if I was to write blood in the water, it is a free triggered action, range 10, targets itself. Flavor, no flavor here, but the trigger is going to be one creature within range becomes winded, bleeding or winded. So that's the trigger now. And then the effect is the marrow shifts up to their speed towards the triggering creature. And that is what the players will see in their, like, in little pop-up there. So that's just the display part. That's just the visual. Now we have to make it. So under same place, triggered ability, we're going to see here, we're going to see the usage limit. This is not the actual, like, triggered thing. That'll also just be in place, but in case you can only use this, you know, per encounter or whatever. All right, we're going to hit edit ability. You can see now, this is what I was more used to. The subject of self, when is always, has condition. I don't think that's it if you do. Triggering occurs automatically. The trigger is going to be, let's see here. We have a bunch of, like, pre-made ones here, so I think we're gonna have to do custom trigger. Yeah, let's get a custom trigger. And the action is gonna be free triggered action. Interesting. Okay, that's also not the thing. Yeah, because then this would do this thing here, but I'm not being able to set it so that. Okay. Maybe it's like popping up, or like the free triggered thing is because I can actually just go and make a trigger over here. Roll tables, models, effects, instruments. No, I'm not seeing rules. Right, triggers, is that a thing here? No, I'm not seeing that either. Okay. That is a little unfortunate. Okay, I will wait back to hear from DM Hub about doing the bloodthirsty trait, and I'm gonna now pivot for the second time, and I'm going to try to make the hooked spear signature ability. This one I'm more confident on. The effect is going to be difficult, but I was sort of thinking about how I would do that. We're going to start off, we're going to go ahead and hit create ability again. Let's try that. So this is going to be hooked spear. Category is going to be, this is a signature ability. Action is main action. It's got the melee, strike, and weapon keywords. Doesn't cost anything, doesn't cost anything. Range text is going to be melee 2. Target text is going to be 1 creature or object. And it's going to target creature or object. We'll see now it's going to pop up telling us, asking us how much targets and what's the range. So we know it's 2 squares, so range is 2, targets count is 1. Now for the behavior, we're going to go ahead and just give it a power roll. See, it says ability power roll. Boop. That's going to pop up. We're going to see a very familiar sort of suite here. We can get rid of the equation for might or agility because we know it's just 2. So 2d10 plus 2. This is going to apply to the targets. So obviously the thing you're picking. No other modifiers here. We're going to go ahead and we're literally actually just going to write out the text that we see there. If we literally just put 6 damage, semicolon, slide 1, the game knows what that means and that will work on the target. So 9 damage, semicolon, slide 2. 12 damage, semicolon, slide 3, colon again, agility less than 2. I can type bleeding, parentheses, EOT for end of turn. Now there's an effect here. The shift hook, the fish hook can shift into any square the target leaves. So I, again, super honest, have no idea how to do that, but I have an idea because it is a similar effect to other things that already exist. We're just gonna hit create, and I'm gonna show you that alone did that effect. So we're gonna go ahead and hit main action. We'll see now. Yeah, okay. Sometimes when the monster token is stagnant and you edit it, you just need to move it over before it does a little refresh. So now we see hooked spear. We can see on the right there that little pop-up. We can see its effects, and everything looks good, right? It's melee 2, 1 creature object. That's the power roll tiers. Let's go ahead and click on hooked spear. Now we see immediately the targeting range is correct, right? It's melee 2. We can select the human talent. We still have bloodthirsty up, which is not working, so we can ignore that. I can turn whenever like a trigger or effect would modify the power roll, it'll show up here, and you can manually turn them off or on. I'm just deciding this thing has cover. I can click on cover or high ground, you know, blinking, or just give it a bane or a double bane or double edge. But we're gonna roll straight here, and we can see right the power roll tiers roll. Right, slide 2. Look, wait, actually, this is actually completely new from the most recent one. This is really cool. We can see that there's incoming 9 damage. We haven't accepted it just yet, so in case anyone's like, oh no, 9 damage, I should do something about that, they have a moment and they'll be able to see how much it actually is. But we're just gonna go ahead and set it to tier 3 by just clicking on it. We can just upgrade the tier ourselves. And now hopefully this Howl's gonna take 12 damage, and actually shit, before we do that, let me get rid of bleeding on them so that we actually see if bleeding works. So we're gonna go ahead and hit accept result, right? This thing does not have an agility. Yeah, okay, cool. We're gonna hit accept result. Okay, cool. The phantom damage for a second, but that's 12 damage. Now we have a slide of 3. We're going to slide them over here. Whoosh, and they're bleeding. So you see all of the stuff we just typed into the block immediately worked. We're 99% of the way there. All we need to do is add the effect there. Checking over, I have an at. Amazing. So I got a response thanks to James or Vex at the dev team. They said they sent me just what I'm supposed to type into that condition part. So let's run this back. Let's go ahead and now let's open up the sheet here. Hit edit. Thankfully for them, under condition, we just type in target. Let's see here. Let's see parentheses. Let's see here. Let me get rid of this. Okay, let's see if this will work, because they sent me to say target dot winded or target conditions has bleeding. So we're gonna hit confirm. Let's see now if that works, because they're both bleeding and winded. If I hook spear on them, bloodthirsty popping up. And then let's product test it. Let's pull out a null. Let's see if that works against them. It does not. So now we can see that because this talent is winded / bloodied. Actually, let's go ahead and let's heal them up and let's see if bleeding works separately. Both times I said it, so they're still winded. But okay, now they're no longer winded. Bloodthirsty is triggering. It's letting us know that we're getting that edge. And then now let's get rid of their bleeding condition. but make them winded. And it is working. Cool. Now it is working. Thank you again to James. Literally that easy, folks. If like you're like you get stuck, just message over there. Let's see what was the response time on that. Let's test them. That was a 10-minute response time. I had enough time to also fiddle around and have more questions to ask, but 10 minutes and I got my answer, and now the feature is working. Okay, amazing. Now we just need to add the effect to hooked spear. So I believe I am, and then actually, okay, I keep trying to pull up my actual, like, just opening like Chrome and pulling up some PDFs and stuff, but let me go ahead and just search here. Let's go and look at the sensor stuff. Let me jump over to the sensor. Okay, cool. Why did it jump all the way over here? All the way up. Let's go get to the sensor. Is this oh yeah, it is. Ooh, I can just go boop, sensor. I believe there's a sensor, either a signature or a trait, that does a similar effect. But yeah, not back blasphemer. Driving assault for 3 wrath. You can shift at your speed in a straight line towards the target after pushing them. Okay, not exactly the same thing. Maybe I think there's a kit that does that, where you can move out of where you push someone. Yeah, swap places with the target. Is it the martial art, or is it the pugilist I'm thinking of? Yes, here we go. Pugilist's trigger. You can shift into any square the target leaves after you slide them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a big brain play here. I'm gonna make a hero. So I'm gonna right click hero, open the character sheet. We go to the builder. We see the just the regular like character sheet builder. I'm gonna fuck all this. I'm just gonna go straight down to class, make it a class that has a kit, and then give it the pugilist kit just straight up. We see where's the kit tab. It's right here now. We're just gonna straight up go give it the pugilist kit. Boom. Fuck everything else. Now if we right click and look at it, we see it's got Let's Dance. We can open the character sheet underneath main actions. Literally just hit right click Let's Dance and copy it. So now I'm going to go over to the Marrow Fish Hook, right click it, open the character sheet. We're going to hit paste Let's Dance, and now boom, now it has Let's Dance. So now if we open, now we can now because it's copied over, we have the little gear icon. We can go and edit it. So now we can pop open the hood and see what it does here. So it sees, it seems that it's going to just hit invoke ability afterwards. Okay, cool. There is a bunch of stuff here I literally don't want. I think, see, if we hit edit ability, yeah, target. Okay, cool. So we can see all of the work here done. Like there's stuff targeting, target a vacated space, ranges movement speed. I don't want to copy all of that stuff over, right? Actually, can I? Never mind. I'm gonna right click on invoke ability and hit copy behavior over to hooked spear, open the gear, go down, add behavior, and then it should be, I think it's, yeah, paste behavior at the bottom. Boom. Now we have all this stuff here. It's the same exact thing. We can hit close. Let's leave Let's Dance for a second just in case we need it. We have a winded target, main action. Hooked, let's make it a bit more meaningful, right? Let's go over here. The Marrow Fish Hook is going to use hook spear targeting the human talent. We're going to roll. Oh, amazing. Look at that. We got a tier 3 result. We're going to click on that, make it tier 3. Hit accept. We did 12 damage. We're going to slide the target into the null. 4 damage. They're bleeding. Well, they just fucking died. But now it is prompting us to move into a space the talent has left. So as you see, the talent was here, and they left that square and are in there. And I guess they left that square because they're dead. But let's go ahead and just shift into this one here. Click to confirm. Boop, boop. And now we have implemented the hooked spear signature ability, as well as the bloodthirsty trait. Now we just need to figure out how the hell we're supposed to do this. So now I'm going to screenshot that and send that over to the same DM Hub channel. I'm going to thank James for that, because that was definitely worked. Oh, I'm a fucking moron. I didn't even get a response. I'm just I just realized how I'm supposed to make a trigger like this. Oh, now I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try to do it before I respond. I am going to. You don't make a trigger ability here. right? You go to features, add custom feature, and then here is like how it is for the hero stuff. I can do triggered ability and the triggered ability display. So I can do blood in the water. It's a pre-triggered action. An enemy within distance. It's bleeding or winded. And the arrow shifts up to their speed towards the triggering creature. Okay, boom, it's got the ranged keyword. Okay, so that's still not working. You know, I think it's, but you know, fuck the drowner. I'm gonna end this when I figure out how to do blood in the water. I think just getting this one stat block so far has technically not happened yet. So I think this whole video is gonna be about me trying to make this one monster work. Because I'm looking at my clock. It's been an hour 14 of me trying to make this guy. I did move on and start doing some other thing in a second. But I think I'm fully devoting my time and efforts into doing this other one. Okay. Readability. Oops, now it's transformation. Don't do that. Triggered ability. Take damage. Yeah. So enemy. Let's try bleeding then. If winded is not correct. So same thing, range 10, manual version, addition applied, target bleeding, target conditions, bleeding, I think it's has bleeding, yeah, target conditions has bleeding. Range 10, self, behavior, ability, caster, back up, standard ability, shift 7, target self. Right, okay, and then they want me to slash in order to help test this, make the first behavior. Load text. Text is Sui Mama. Shaking it. Yeah, move down. There we go. He's chilling. Got the trigger blood in the water. I've got 2. Oh, I think it's because it still has the... Aha! Deleting you. That's why. Deleting you. Boom. Okay, cool. Let's give this elementalist a bleeding condition. Cool, that didn't trigger anything. Not in the slightest. Okay. So our trigger does something else. Maybe I have the targeting part fucked up. Here, put in the water. Let me shift. Let me do that part. Sui Mama. Such a niche reference. I'm so sorry for anyone who has no idea what Sui Mama is and is having to watch me try to deal with this. Okay, they sent me a screenshot of what theirs looks like, and they're like, it looks like mine. Mine does not say target. Or mine says target, theirs says subject. Is that the problem? They have it set to prompt. There we fucking go. asking now. Yeah, so they sent a screenshot that had the subject part that worked. But I still need. I'm trying to. Now I want to figure out if I really want to nail this. I need to figure out how to get it to shift their speed distance. Which I guess I could. I guess I don't really need to. Okay, watch this. I'm just gonna close that. Okay, so we have the parts here. I'm gonna go ahead and jump over and give it the display part. Blood in low water. Target's gonna be self. Trigger. And enemy within distance becomes bleeding or winded. And the effect is the marrow shifts up to their speed towards the triggering creature. That's the ranged keyword. There we go. So now that's there. Applied. Cool. Right. So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to crack open the hero's book, and I think is it a null ability? There's an ability. There's an ability for sure that something gets that lets them shift up to their speed. After speed, we want the full speed. Be a shadow ability. Let's find it. Get in, get out. Cool. That's not what we want either, because we want them to be after 100 throats, possibly. Sorry, just that effect. Maybe we want to look at like shifting. Actually, no. Maybe we do want to look at the null ability, because if there's an equation for half speed, I can just change it to speed. So, let's see here. Strike. I don't want it to be before or after. I just want to do it. Okay, inertial step. You can shift it to half your speed before or after. God damn it! Stop giving me the option. Okay, I guess that's where we're gonna have to start. Let's pull up. Let's pull up our null and see if we can't rip inertial step. Does this one have it? It does. Perfect. We can hit main actions. I can copy it here so that we can open it up. Okay. It's using relocate creature, with the range being walking speed. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe if I do, instead of doing speed, walking speed, I do evoke ability, standard ability, shift, distances, walking speed. Boom. That worked. And to double check it worked, let's give our marrow. Right. Let's give our marrow the slowed condition. That's going to set their speed to 2. And so now I'm just going to manually trigger put in the one. Let's try it again. Now if I try to do it, speed's 2, we only see 2. Boom! It's done, and then it didn't actually shift because we were slow, so we can't shift. We still have to move. Okay, blood in the water. Now it works. Now it does the thing. That was the fix. It needed to be walking speed, not speed. Okay, so sweet. Okay, now here's the thing. This was one app. We still need to do the winded one. Oh, sick. Amazing. Thank you, Rufus Ingram. Dude, Rufus, you're the go. I've seen your messages around in the other Discord servers. I didn't realize you were also I've seen your stuff in Brewery. I didn't realize you were also on the dev team. Or maybe are you on the dev team? Or are you just sick as hell? I think you're just sick as hell. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Rufus. Let's try to do that. Where is I close dev? That's fine. It's like, where did it go? Let's get them winded. That also triggered it. And that shifts us. Booyah. We have done it. Oh, they're not broken anymore. Capsize. Boop. Does that work? Yes, it will. I can push the target 3 through. Do they have stability? Why am I only getting pushed from 1? Is pushing having the... Interesting. Do you have stability? You don't. I think that's definitely a bug. Being prone does not reduce the distance you can get force moved, so I think it's having it, but the only way to test that is through making it bigger. If I make the push 6, which I think I know a way to fix it, because it happens in order. I think maybe actually it doesn't in this instance. Choose the game. Heal for 20. Get rid of prone. Stand up. Let's put you back on your ass. Let's do that tier 1. Yeah, it is having the force movement distance. Okay. That is fully a bug. I am actually going to straight up go ahead and issue a bug report. Because this might come up. And it's not like this is definitely something that is important. Let me just push you there. Let's see here. Right? Because like if I'm now pretty sure if I go over and I look at I guess I should use the search up here for prone. It knows what I want. One. Well, creature must call which causes can't fly. Yeah, there's nothing about force movement, so it is just being incorrect. What happens if I do it the other way? I do push 3 prone. I doubt it's going to be any different, because unlike I don't think like the actual game, it's going to push first, then apply the prone condition. I think it's just going to do it all at once. And because it's going to take longer, like, because it, like, I need to, like, actually choose where I'm throwing them, it's going to... Now that worked. That is funny. That is actually really funny. That's way funnier. Oh my god. It's really funny to just... the sound it makes when they get knocked prone after being thrown 3 squares really sells it for me. Okay, cool. So for this instance, I can fix the problem by putting it the other way. And mechanically, what I'm doing is not what I wrote down, but mechanically it's the exact same, and I'm fine making that compromise for the putting it in the codex and making that work. Which might be a thing that you have to ask yourself when writing and designing stuff. And like, if you want to be like, I'm fine with the codex version being different so that it can work, or I am actively writing my stuff in the way that it would look in the codex, that could be something interesting in terms of what you're creating. I'm on the fence about it. I'm not sure. Okay. That was a lot more than I was expecting, I will admit. I was thinking about how I would do certain things in my head, and ultimately, I think I vastly overestimated my ability to do things. I very much, again, appreciation to the DM Observer. Very, very thorough. A lot of great help to be had pretty quickly, enough to, have a good day about it. It is a little frustrating to, like, to work in it, because the second you hit something you're not supposed to do, all you can really do is wait, other than pivoting and going and trying something else like I was doing. So maybe if I had more stuff set up for me to pivot to keep trying, it would have gone a little smoother. Even though DM Hub is a great resource, it is a little frustrating that at the moment, if you have a question or you're stuck on one effect, all you can really do is wait, and there's no real easy way to get the answer to your question without waiting for a person to tell you how to do it. So it is a little difficult in just like, I'm gonna figure it out, because I think in a lot of these, I might have done my way into figuring out how Bloodthirsty and Blood in the Water works, but it's a lot of the Goblin script that I think is the tricky part. Like, filling in these condition sections to Goblin script, I think, is the hardest. Even opening up the formula documentation, like, this is a lot of stuff, and like there are like things that are still in here that are probably left over from when DM Up was originally doing like the 5e like VTT stuff. So there is there is some stuff that is not the greatest in terms of how it's named, like, that I would think. I think like walking speed is one that I dislike, that it's called walking speed and not just speed. That is a little I dislike. I mean, it makes sense to differentiate it from swimming speed, flying speed, but calling it just speed already differentiates it from the other ones that have an additional word next to it. Is because like speed is not a thing at all, right? Speed while slowed is the only other one that is there. Like it's little stuff like that where like it's very much, and movement speed is a different one. Like, movement speed at least makes more sense, but I like, it's written on like the draw steel character sheets as speed. Like, that you get a bonus to your speed. It's not, you don't get a bonus to your movement speed or walking speed. They call it speed. So the fact that it's not that in Goblin script makes it incredibly unintuitive and a little hard to just realize stuff. The other stuff maybe I could have wandered on and figure out, but it's those little things that are what makes creating stuff in the Codex difficult. Is like the vast collection of keywords and stuff that is not the most clear on certain things. The Marrow Fishhook and the Marrow Drowner are done. I am really not interested in trying to do any more. I could, and I think it'd be decently easy. I'd mosey around and figure some stuff out, but I'm not interested in. I think this video has gone long enough. It's been 2.5 hours for me. You can probably see on the timer I inevitably add to this. That's how much time it actually took me to do all this. I've hopefully edited it down into an incredibly manageable and watchable video length, and if I have not, I'm sorry. I hope this was useful to you guys in seeing where the Codex is at for implementing stuff right now. Possible? Yes. Difficult? Yes. Intuitive? No. Put that on the thumbnail. I hope this was useful to some of you guys. If you want to see me try to implement other bits of Homebrew, I have done ancestries and I've messed around with the classes. I am not confident in my ability to do so, but I will try, so that I will try and suffer for all of you to see again what it is like in currently trying to implement those sorts of stuff. If you enjoyed, let me know. And again, like I said, if you want me to see me try to do other stuff, let me know if that's going to be something helpful. I'm happy to do it if it is going to help someone out, in like just showing this off to the Codex, because I know there's a lot more questions than there are answers for our creators out there in the Homebrew server. I will be a river to my people. I've been Jenny Redacted. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.